You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best. Teach a system, I invest, never hidden, I ain't scared. Ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Welcome to the Party Pals GRC Mafia. Right out of the gate, we are here to break down barriers, foster collaboration and community, working towards a more secure future for everybody. Definitely a learning and growing environment. My audio should be way better today. I did double check in the studio here that the correct microphone is set, so it should be way clearer than last night. But go ahead and give me a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me, so that way we validate that, hey, we are actually live streaming this time. Unlike that one incident that did occur for 45 minutes. This is our Friday AMA open stage general discussion. We usually do this for about an hour every single Friday. And you guys are more than welcome to, stick around and chat, or you guys are welcome to come up on stage. I did drop the stage link a moment ago. You do not have to turn on your video. You could run microphone only if you choose to, or you can stick in chat. One of the best places to drop links, though, because YouTube won't let you drop links, you could do that through our Discord server, though. So you could hop into our Discord server, you could drop your social media to connect with the rest of the community, and you can also publish, like, maybe you saw a news article, or you want to share the resources or otherwise there, or you guys just have questions. Definitely encouraged to, network with the rest of the community. Just don't share anything that you don't want to be public. If you happen to do so, reach out to me on Discord or contact@studygrc.org. Additionally, I want to shout out the Coffee Mafia as well. So we have this program, Coffee Mafia, that link's dropping in chat here in just a moment as well. That is currently 8 volunteers. You can go to that website and, just select a time that works best for you. It'll automatically select one of the volunteers based on availability. You put in what you need assistance with. Maybe it's a mock interview, or you want a resume review. You just have some questions about the industry or otherwise, or you just want to have a coffee chat with somebody. There's no limitations to that. And it's completely $0. We're never going to charge for that. We don't want anything in exchange for that at all. So definitely check that out. Welcome to the Party Pal. I see Cam, Space Tacos. I also dropped Space Tacos stuff in chat as well. I'm going to have to make an advertisement for it or something. So Space Tacos, I'll drop it in chat again here as well. Space Tacos has the GRC Audit Treasure Trove. It's a Discord server. It's a little bit different than most, though. It's more of like an entire archive. You can't chat in most of it, but there's different channels for different topics, and then she just publishes and posts in all of the links to different resources. It's really useful if you're looking for something in particular, or maybe you want to dig more into one particular topic a little bit more. You could just go into that server and search for, SOC 2 or ISO or whatever, and I guarantee you'll find something of what you're generally looking for there. It's definitely a great resource to at least have in your servers list. Let's see here. I think that pretty much covers it. I'm going to go ahead and transition over here. Also, before I do, we're not doing any type of paid sponsorships or anything like that. Instead, we're just trying to shout out other awesome people that are out there in the community and things like that. that also additionally align. So I'm going to go through and do this ad roll real quick, and we'll be right back. Welcome to the Party Pal. Let's see. I also see Rania in chat and so forth, and Jeffrey popped in. Bam. Happy Friday, everybody.
Want to actually learn cloud security? And I mean, not just pass the test, but actually learn how to defend and attack real environments? Cyber's one-click labs let you exploit real AWS Lambda functions, escalate IAM privileges, and respond to incidents in live environments. You'll learn how to securely configure cloud resources, create your own custom incident response playbook. Want to actually learn cloud security? And I mean, not just pass the test, but actually learn how to defend and attack real environments? Cyber's one-click labs let you exploit real AWS Lambda functions, escalate IAM privileges, and respond to incidents in live environments. You'll learn how to securely configure cloud resources, create your own custom incident response playbooks, and learn how to pen test cloud infrastructure to find real vulnerabilities before attackers do. Visit cyber.com to join thousands of cloud security practitioners and a growing community, and start your first hands-on lab for free today. Or use coupon code StudyGRC for 10% off our premium memberships. That's cybr.com.
Bam. I don't know how it came out on your guys' end, but it definitely like buffered there for a minute. Let's see here. There's also like Cybersecurity Dojo that's also on YouTube. I don't know what is going on right now. Let me try to load this up here. But so we also have like Brews and Hacks. I'm going to drop a couple of these different links in chat real quick. So like Brews and Hacks is also publishing content. We got Cam, which I'll show his ad roll at the end here. We got LSEC, which is also out there in the community as well. And then also Cybersecurity Dojo just posted a video yesterday for explaining what DNS is and how it works. It's a short, like 3.5-minute video, and I think he did an amazing job on that. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and pop this open right quick. Oh, maybe. Share screen. Bam. All right. Let's go. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to pop this open real quick. So this is Cybersecurity Dojo on YouTube. I don't know what his actual posting schedule is, but he's been posting, regularly for a while now. And he explains these topics extremely well. Definitely worth checking out. He also, one of the cool things is he has a playlist on GRC even. So, bam. Yeah, I have no idea. Yesterday I had issues with the microphone because it defaulted to the wrong one. And then YouTube was just like not loading properly. Maybe it was my internet for a moment because like that video was also buffering for far too long. I don't know. I'll just blame it on AI. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see. I'll go ahead and rip this down now. But yeah, how's everybody doing? How's the week going? I'll drop this stage link again if anybody does want to come up, but you are not required to whatsoever. And then maybe we'll dig more into like that SIM thing with New York. I also heard about like other issues around the country with like calling 911 and so forth. That's kind of concerning. But that was a pretty interesting topic we started digging into last night. Which section are you referring to for the new resources for the collection? Are you talking about like ISO or SOC 2 or? Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Both Space Tacos and Rania are both on the same page there with AI. I think it's just fair, to be honest, at this point in time. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and like there's been so much stuff with the whole AI portion. I saw a really good video earlier about like the issues that like Apple's been having with their AI itself, just because they were like so behind the curve. They're like one of the big top 10 companies for, technology, and yet they've fallen so far behind on AI, and it's really kind of disappointing, really. I'm still finding it like difficult as far as like implementation. There's a lot of things with the AI aspect though. Let's see here. So yeah, if you guys have anything that you guys would like to discuss, or anything you guys have come across, definitely drop that in chat. I think I'm going to pull this up in just a second and just try to dig more into like that sim situation. Let's see. So I'm running a report now for this. And let's go ahead and pull PBO up here. Welcome to the Party Pal, PBO.
Happy Friday.
Welcome. Yeah, happy Friday. Let's go ahead and pull that up before PBO starts talking too much.
I'm waiting on you, man. I want you to put me in timeout, man. I want you to take me backstage and have a frank discussion with me and that.
Oh, gosh. Not PBO. Yeah, Space Talkers, you've been talking about this for like a couple months now. Like you just keep, dropping, little secrets here and there and so forth. I'm kind of curious what you're working on there.
It's top secret.
Yeah, that's what she keeps saying.
What sim thing were you talking about you want to share? Shout out to the sim. Oh shit, I'm tired.
I just spilled coffee all over myself, but
My bad. That's probably my fault.
Yeah, so we talked about it a little bit last night. You should actually do a video on it. So basically,
what happened? Videos. No, cause you keep assigning me stuff to do. I'm
Come
old,
on,
man.
PBO. I want to see 5 days a week. Come on. Then maybe I won't miss them all. So basically what happened, I'm running a report on it now, but they ended up finding a bunch of different hardware that was, it was like 100,000 SIM cards that were connected to cell towers in New York City that were near the UN location. And they were capable of sending like over 30 million text messages a minute or something.
I saw
and yeah, and so that's what we kind of dug into a little bit last night. I think it was Josh EC who had mentioned it. I heard about it before, but I never really dug into it. But then now, like, they're concerned that maybe this could be implemented in other cities across the country as well.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure they got sleeper cells. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy though. And then did you see the photos for that?
I did not. I didn't see the photos for it.
Oh my gosh. I'll pull it up here in a second. But yeah, the U.S. Secret Service published a page for it. I'll pull it back up, and they posted photos. Like they had like rented out like commercial storefronts or warehouses and like apartments and put this hardware in.
How much hardware was it? It wasn't a ton.
Quite a bit. There was like 100,000 SIM cards.
Yeah, but if I VM it, hell, I could take one big server and probably put 500 VMs. So if I get a Dell Superdome for 10,000, I could probably get 20,000 SIMs out of that. Just thinking about it.
Well, and I guess it really came down to like a denial of service kind of thing.
Yeah, that's how it was going to be, a denial of service. That's why I didn't really like freak out. I'm like, okay. Hell, I could spin it up in AWS. They probably block it once they see that much traffic. But hell, I could split up that many EC2s.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the web page for it again for the U.S. Secret Service page. I think this is it. Oh yeah, this is it.
I got me thinking I could do spot instances on EC2.
Oh God.
And spin them up.
Yeah, let me double check chat. But so I'll open up these photos.
I did see that. I saw that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll drop this link again too in chat. But yeah, like, I mean, it wasn't a small operation at all. Like they even say, like, this is 100% nation state. So,
Oh, facts.
like, that's crazy.
I mean, but that's not a ton. But go back, that's not a ton of hardware though.
Well, it was across like multiple locations. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sure this is only a small
I
amount
get
of
what you're
what they found. I think it was like 12 locations that had a bunch of these things in there.
See, go back. That's not a ton. Right there, that's not one. Go back one more. That's not a ton. But so I mean, maybe the room is bigger, but that doesn't look like a ton to me.
Yeah, I would assume most of it was probably set up similar to something like this.
Yeah, see, to me, that's not a ton of hardware, man. When I think it's a,
but then when you have it like strategically placed.
Oh, now pay attention.
Like,
not a ton of hardware, but strategically placed, you can take everything out. Right?
Yeah, I think that's the concern.
Yeah, that's two concerns. You don't need a lot of hardware anymore to take a lot of stuff out. Like that's 3 desks. I mean,
yeah.
So I mean, to me, that's not a ton of hardware, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't looked into it or otherwise, but also like I couldn't imagine this would be cheap hardware.
Oh, I bet you it's cheaper than what you think.
Really?
I bet you it's cheap. Yeah. I mean, that's Moore's law, man. After 18 months, you get double the price for the same price. So yeah, I bet you it's not that much.
Let me see.
I don't even know what you would do to run a SIM card like that for a phone.
All will be revealed on Friday next week. Okay. Oh, really, Space Tacos? Oh, really?
I'm excited. I'm there.
Well, this just in. We are now considering it the 3rd. So, Space Tacos?
Okay, we need to put that out.
We're having this meeting early, a week early now. We're skipping.
We need to put that up. Study GRC the 3rd. All will be revealed.
Yeah, and Space Taco says that stupid UN is making traffic way worse than usual. Well, and so that's... like, I still need to go through it way more, but I'm still confused whether or not this was a direct attack towards the UN, because there's like a UN facility that this stuff was like strategically placed around, is my understanding, or like otherwise. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't dig into that. I can't comment. I haven't dug in or that deep on it myself, like you said. I'm just...
Yeah, and like Cam says, take it for what is the purpose. This seems like step 1 of a plan. To be honest with you, what I kind of think, like, by going through the page here for the Secret Service and so forth, like, I feel like this is more of a proof of concept than anything else. Like, hey, we could do this if we wanted to, kind of thing. So that's kind of like what I think, but who knows? The world's been interesting the last, couple decades.
Especially from a cyber standpoint, it's on a whole nother level on a cyber standpoint.
Yeah. Well, and I doubt, like, so this is the report that I just ran through.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. Can I get this to... Oh, no, it won't read it out. So the New York City Farm Thread, a comprehensive analysis of the largest telecoms attack infrastructure seized by U.S. authorities. So over 300 SIM servers and 100,000 SIM cards possess the capability to cripple cellular communications across New York City and potentially facilitate wide-ranging criminal espionage activities. The operation scale, timing during the UN General Assembly, and apparent connections to foreign state actors highlight the evolving landscape. All right. So we're looking at 300 servers, SIM servers with over 100,000 SIM cards. Understanding the SIM farm technology. All right. Let's see. So they use voice over IP protocol technology to route calls and messages through multiple SIM cards simultaneously. These devices act as a gateway. You can connect in hundreds or thousands of SIM cards into each one, enabling operations to send massive volumes of communications while masking their origins and avoiding detection. The seized network demonstrated unprecedented technical capabilities that extended far beyond traditional fraud applications. The system would generate up to 30 million anonymous text messages per minute, sufficient to contact every person in the United States within approximately 12 minutes. This massive throughput capacity position the network. Okay. All right. Neat. The network's physical architecture reveals sophisticated operational planning. The 300 plus SIM servers were distributed across at least 5 locations within a 35-mile radius of the United Nations headquarters in Manhattan. This location positioning was particularly concerning given the timing of the UN General Assembly, where over 100 world leaders and their delegations were presented in New York City. They discovered equipment housing in abandoned apartment complexes and vacant properties across multiple jurisdictions, including all of these different places. So they don't actually state exactly how many locations, just that there were several vacant properties and so forth. The seized infrastructure possessed multiple attack capabilities. All right. The network's ability to disable cell phone towers represented perhaps the most concerning capability by overwhelming cellular infrastructure. Well, and we also had like that whole telecom issue a couple years ago, where it was already proven that like China was embedded in our telecoms. And like the last portion that I kind of read about that was that it would cost so much money to repair all of our infrastructure that it just wasn't feasible. We'd be looking at tens of billions, if not trillions of dollars to replace our telecoms. And then still it would not be guaranteed that, the adversary was out of the networks entirely. Cam says the timing of finding these locations were tips based around the UN General Assembly gathering, but it is an assumption to say that there was a plot to place for the UN meeting. Yeah. No, that makes sense. You don't like that theory either? Which theory was that in reference to space tacos? Origins of swatting attack investigations. Okay. Threat actor analysis, international connections. So state actor involvement. Early forensic analysis of the seized equipment reveals communications between suspected nation state threat actors and individuals known to federal law enforcement. But they have not publicly identified particular countries. Only a handful of nations possess the resources and technical sophistication required to orchestrate such an operation. All right, so only a few countries, including Russia, China, Israel, would possess the capabilities to carry out such an operation. So, I mean, that's what I was saying last night, is like, if I had to take a guess, like I would be looking at Russia or China personally, but obviously that's up in the air. Who knows yet? Criminal enterprise connections. Beyond potential state sponsorship, the investigation revealed extensive connections to traditional criminal organizations. I don't know how legitimate this is. So it's stating that they found like drugs and illegal firearms along with this as well. I don't know how realistic this is. I'm going to have it check the resources on that because I did not previously notice that. Okay, so CBS reports that investigators also found illegal drugs and firearms in these locations as well, along with USA Today and Security Affairs. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I mean, that's pretty crazy though. 100,000 SIM cards that they were able to get their hands on in over 30 servers. You would think that that alone would like set off some red flags if, you know, somebody was getting their hands on over 100,000 SIM cards. That pretty much seems like the end of that. So, yeah. Kind of interesting. Apparently, those SIM gateways are only 2 to 7K. Seriously? I hadn't looked it up yet, but I was thinking like twice as much. I was assuming like 15 to 20,000. So once again, PBO is right. Welcome to the Party Pal stuff. No worries. Not a problem whatsoever. Yeah. Welcome to the Party Pal. Yeah, you guys are more than welcome to hang out and chat as well. So let's see. Yeah, we were just talking about the sim farm over in New York. I mean, that pretty much seems like the gist of it there. 100,000 SIM cards, 300 servers. You know, yeah, there's a lot of threats with it, but also there's so much information we don't know yet. And it's probably going to be months before that stuff gets disclosed on like who it actually was and so forth. So I think one of the biggest concerns is if this is in other locations as well. And I did drop that link in chat. Yeah, perfect. But yeah, what else is going on with everybody? How's your guys' weeks going? Let's see. Pull this up. There was a couple other big things too. So like I know Google Chrome recently had, like earlier this week, I think it was actually last week is when it came out, for their emergency update or patching because of potential issues there. Steph mentions that they watched the Business Insider segment on data centers and it's terrifying. You should drop the link for that. You'd have to drop it in Discord, but I've not looked at that. I did watch, I don't know if it was from Business Insider, but I did watch like a documentary earlier about data centers, especially AI data centers, and how like Iowa, like there's a section in Iowa that is like the hub for data centers. And I was absolutely dumbfounded to discover that the United States has so many more data centers than anywhere else in the world. We're close to like, I think it's like 5,300. And then we have like 200 that are in development right now in the United States. And a large portion of that is focused in Iowa in particular, just because of like, you know,
cheap
laws
land
and so forth. Yeah, cheap land, laws. And then like all of these AI data centers and so forth too. Like most of these large countries, they have like 300, 400 data centers. And the United States has over 5,300 data centers. That's insane. It's 30 minutes. Oh, Virginia. Yeah, Virginia is another big one too. Yeah, and so like the documentary portion that I watched, like a large focus of it was in regards to the power supply, because in the United States, a lot of these power companies, the way it works is they go through and they invest into the infrastructure and then they pass that into their overall price for power. And so like these companies that are pushing out all these data centers, they're not paying for the infrastructure. It gets distributed across everybody. So some people are seeing like their power bills double, triple, quadruple because all of these data centers are moving in and the power company is dropping all of that money into it.
That's rude.
Yeah, it's actually kind of messed up. I'm going to drop this link in chat here too, that Steph dropped in Discord. I'm going to skip through it here real quick because it might be the same one I was watching. Oh, no, it's not. I don't think it is. Oh my gosh, YouTube has so many ads. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, this is a different documentary or a different report than the one I was watching. I think it's kind of a benefit, though. Like, it's nice to see that there's more and more of these data centers being built and so forth. But there are. So the title of this video here is Exposing the Dark Side of America's AI Data Center Explosion. And that's the thing, is that it's not all a benefit. Like, it is making more jobs and so forth, but also, like, what I was hearing about before is a lot of these people, you know, they're minimizing the amount of people that they need in the first place. It's not creating as many jobs as you might think, but then also it has impact to the local communities and so forth too. And data centers have emissions.
I actually just got an email about Accenture laying off people in lieu of AI.
Yeah. And Steph mentions they don't want you to know where all the data centers are by mapping them through looking at generator registration.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't really surprise me, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was, like Snowden that let us know about one in Colorado and Hawaii, a couple other locations. I'm on enough watch lists already. I don't care. Yeah, no, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out.
And Cam mentions I was listening to a good podcast on the economics of AI data centers and the overall AI bubble. They're going to drop it in Discord as well. Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest issues that people aren't thinking about, is that it's putting a huge strain on the energy and water infrastructure.
For cooling and everything.
Yeah. So like up here in North Dakota, we have Microsoft has a data center in Fargo, and that accounts for like a significant fraction of the overall water and power supply for the city of Fargo. And it's kind of crazy. It's like over 30% is dedicated to that one data center. So, and I think Amazon was looking at building one there as well.
Yeah, I think Microsoft is putting, I think they're still building it, but there's a new data center over here by me in San Antonio on the southwest side.
Yeah. That is a little concerning, though, that they wanted people to know where they're located. Like, I couldn't imagine it'd be that difficult to figure it out, though.
Yeah, but confirming it makes them a visible target.
Yeah. But like, there's so much public information that's out there. But also, like, for an example, like Bill Gates and the guy with Amazon, like, they bought tons of land in the US, and a lot of other of these individuals too. Kind of interesting. Yeah, I haven't really dug into it that much, but yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to pull up the one that I had watched. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think this is that's a shorter version of it. So the one I watched was more focused on how it's increasing the energy. Oh yeah, this is it. So I'm going to drop this one in chat too. So this one is titled, "We Found the Hidden Cost of Data Centers. It's in Your Electric Bill." And this is the video I watched. I have to wait for this ad before it tells me how long it is. Yeah, it's only 14 minutes in length, and they go through and talk about these AI data centers and how it affects people, like on the individual level. So, yeah, that's another good one to watch as well in regards to that. It's all redacted for trade secrets. That's so sketchy. Like, oh yeah, we're not allowed to, you know, publicly list where these are located for trade secrets. That's crazy. And then space tacos, I'm already horrified just keeping up with the news. Now I get bonus horrification. Yeah.
I like how she said that's not a real word. Just make sure everyone knows it's not.
Yeah, it's all good. It makes sense.
It's a space tacoism.
Yeah, like I struggle so much as far as like the news portion goes. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with everything, like all of the breaches that happen every single day and all of the vulnerabilities, CVEs. Yeah, and so Steph mentioned, so all those public reports, it's all redacted, all of it. I think that's the most concerning part of it, in my opinion. Like I still have to watch those videos, but like that's concerning. The only thing I can think of is like because of military contracts or something like that, they're able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So sounds like somebody needs to make a public website that people could submit, you know, data center locations.
Till you get a cease and desist in your email.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a couple different hosting companies overseas. So I would never advocate for that ever, though. I would never follow through with anything like that. That would be wrong. Oh, yeah, that makes sense too. Looking at like sourcing and so forth. Yeah, yeah, exactly. If it's all redacted, why even bother with reports? Yeah. I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to have to dig more into. Like, I had no idea. Like, think about that, though. So I know for a fact that the numbers are above, or right around 5,300 data centers in the US. There's only 50 states. Like, that's a lot of data centers. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, though. Do you have any additional comments there, Rania? PBO might be back.
Nope, no additional comments. I gotta jump though, do some real work.
No worries. Oh, that's lame. Yeah, you have a great rest of your day. GRC Mafia.
GRC Mafia.
I think PBO might have went and took a nap. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm pulling these links out too because I want to dig more into that. Yeah, and we still have like another 20 minutes here. But what else have you guys looked at? So we talked a little bit more about like the sim farm, which also like the sim farm reminded me about. There's a name for it, but there were the individuals. Like there was a big one that was down in Texas that was shut down, where like this lady was paid by North Korea contacted this elderly lady that had property in Texas, and then she was running like 15 or I think it was 50 laptops for remote workers to tap into, so that way it was in the States. There's a name for that that I'm not remembering offhand, but that's also what kind of reminded me. I thought about that when looking into the sim farm. So because that's also another issue. And then also one of the recent speakers was talking about how during the hiring process, like they've seen a huge uptick in people not only working multiple positions, but then also a lot of these organizations are getting more and more people for these, foreign workers from North Korea or otherwise that are trying to fake it um, you know, to get the position. And I had dropped a link in Discord the other day to, I'll pull it up here. This is in light mode because they don't have dark mode on this webpage. And I'll drop this in chat too. I'll go ahead and pull this down. And so I found this report kind of interesting. I don't know exactly what date this was. They don't have a date on here, but this is relatively recent. And so they're using this term. I hadn't previously seen this term before, but non-human identities. So they're basically talking about AI agents or AI, systems. And one of the interesting things that I saw is that so this research revealed that there's currently 46 for every human identity. And down here, by the end of 2025, the number of non-human identities is expected to exceed 45 billion by the end of 2025. And so that's basically stating, with my understanding here, that there's going to be way more AI agents and models out there than there are going to be humans on the planet. And technically there already is. One of the other key mentions here too is that deepfake attempts occurred every 5 minutes. So the number of identity related common vulnerabilities and exposures surged by 39.4% in 2024, rising from 23,000 to over 33,000 here. So this was another interesting metric too, where they're talking about, in 2024 alone, deepfake attempts occurred every 5 minutes, demonstrating how hyper-realistic AI-generated fraud is reshaping cyber risks. This is something that was talked about quite a bit, I feel, at Wild West last year. And this is exactly why, because it's a very real thing, not only voice, but then also videos and so forth. And it comes in many different forms too. So it's definitely growing. Let's see here. So the manufacturing, so healthcare, finance, and manufacturing facing an uptick in targeted attacks. Active Directory remains a major vulnerability, exploited in 9 out of 10 ransomware incidents. Oh, PBO.
My bad. My neighbor took over my yard. We discussed. What are we on? Ransomware attacks for? What are you looking at?
Yeah, so I dropped this article. I'll drop it here in the private chat here too, so you can pull it up. I just found this particular report interesting because it's talking about the upsurge and some of the metrics from 2024 on deepfakes, and also how by the end of 2025, it's estimated that there's going to be over 45 billion AI models or agents out there, which is way more than there are humans on the planet.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, yeah. Because they were talking about people having multiple agents to do their work. So I'm sure the hackers are having multiple agents doing their work. So no, that makes sense.
Yeah, and Space Taco says deepfakes every 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I don't think people realize how common it has become. And deepfake, I think, at least for me, when somebody says deepfake, I first go to videos. But it's way beyond that. It also takes the form of, voice and so forth as well, and scams and so forth.
I think of voice now because people were trying to get, Sandy, the CEO of the company, trying to get accounting to wire them some money. But they got the voice off the videos, but.
This is also concerning. So finally, weaknesses in multi-factor authentication have become a key attack vector. Nearly half of all security instances now involve MFA misconfigurations or tactics, like MFA fatigue attacks.
Yeah, that's been common. Shout out to Zero Trust. If you look at the Zero Trust, and because that part of it, the MFA is a part, but validating your hardware, being a workstation with a token or your phone, some kind of fingerprint on there to validate that it's you is part of Zero Trust.
Yeah. Well, and I think people might think MFA is just a fix-all, but there's still so many vulnerabilities with that.
No, I mean, I agree. The thing I think of MFA It's just security in depth. It's just one more thing added to it. It's not the silver bullet, right? So you gotta have MFA. You gotta have, once again, validation of your hardware and software, validating your session. Because when you do AWS, if you use their software development kit, they actually sign every session you in, so you know if it's actually coming from your particular location. So there's 3 or 4 things from Zero Trust. But now MFA is just one of the many things from security in depth. I think it's a bigger one, but it's not, the end all be all.
Yeah, and I just posted an image in Discord here. I'm going to pull it up on screen. I thought this was a really good graphic for the layered defense. So defense in depth and so forth. I just thought this was a good graphic, and I saved this in my notes from a recent course because I thought this was a really good one. But yeah, access control, confidentiality, auditing processes, and then they have it all mapped out on the left-hand side for what surface there.
Yeah. So I like, most of all of those ones, as part of Zero Trust. So, but it's a lot of things in there to try to get it to work together to make it work. But
yeah, I'm gonna have to watch those videos later. I got those other 2 ones marked out.
So I think somebody was in the Discord. I think shout out to Breezy. They were discussing Zero Trust because I think they didn't like AWS Zero Trust. But Breezy, I think, was it Breezy? I think he said.
So Brexy did respond to them.
Yeah.
It was,
I keep calling Breezy. That's a rapper. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Brexy. My fault, Brexy. I'm calling Breezy. Chris Breezy. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Risky is the one who had posted that they had talked with AWS in regards to Zero Trust solutions, and they were saying, don't go with AWS for Zero Trust because it's all microtransactions and so forth. I don't know. You have way more experience with AWS than I do, but my thought behind it is Zero Trust is not it's not like you could just buy a single product and be set to go. Especially in AWS, you're going to need multiple things.
But a lot of people selling it that way, and you can buy it that way. I don't think it's really Zero Trust, but I think you can buy a package of that makes it a lot easier. When I think of AWS, that's what I expect them to sell. These are the services, and this is how you configure Zero Trust. It's up to you and which ones you want to take and which ones you accept. Because 2 is, I'm double thinking it. AWS doesn't have anything from the front end. You're going to go with Microsoft. I usually go Cisco Duo. It doesn't have anything you drop on a PC and do that type of stuff. Their stuff is all in the cloud. So, so that when he said it, that's what I would expect him to say because it's a heavy lift, right? And they give you the services. So that was kind of
and especially after that, I looked at it a little bit before. They have their use case section here, which I think provides some really good examples as far as what they do provide. But it all depends on what services you're using.
And the one I did, I did Zero Trust, and they showed you for AWS, these are the services you use. For Azure, these services you use. So I don't think anybody had a one-shot fit everything because it's different levels, like in your diagram, right? There's some for the front end, middle, back end, encryption sessions, IAM. There's a lot of different features of them.
Yeah, there's so many different things with it. That actually reminds me because also AWS VPC Lattice. This kind of highlights me because AWS recently had their Reinforce Summit event. There's over 200 videos with that. It's all publicly available on YouTube. But I'll swap over to this real quick. So I put together, 171 videos were part of the AWS Reinforce, and I put all of this into a Notebook LM. And so you can go through and ask it questions. You can unselect it. I've shown Notebook LM before, but there's some really good talks that they did about Lattice and what the differences are. And yeah, it's directly in suit with their zero trust options here.
I don't know anybody using it, but we had a conversation. I think it's not new, but I think they're revving it up. Yeah, it's not cheap.
It's big money.
Yeah, and it's the middleware. Like, so yeah, I've been actually looking at that with the Ava, the verified access. They call that Ava. So I've been kind of digging into it. But if you scroll down, we've been talking about hooking up the workspace, which is actually the thin client. That's right below that. If you scroll down, so I mean that's part of their zero trust thin client. And then,
yeah, and then also Space Tacos. So there's 3 different videos for the data center one. I'll actually publish them all together in Discord after the stream because I'm going to go through them as well. So I'll post them all together, and I can @ you on it as well. David mentions that they also have a mapping for them all as well. No worries about being late whatsoever, David. And yeah, and you also mentioned this a second ago regarding like the high trust aspect, because like this isn't like a one and go, like this is a big lift, especially in AWS.
That is a huge lift. But I think anybody truly doing zero trust, if you got any technical debt, it's going to be a heavy lift. Even if you're doing Microsoft's version of that, I was looking at that. It's just a lot of pieces to get it to. The cool thing though, you can do it in phases and segments. It doesn't have to be this one big bang theory.
They even have a whole section on here for AWS culture of security.
Yeah.
And I dropped a link to that notebook LM as well, if anybody wants to take a look. I have it publicly open there. I can actually generate flashcards. Yeah, I generated flashcards and a video for it too. But yeah, 171 videos that they had. Guard duty is another thing I want to dig in more into as well.
I got a couple good videos on that.
Only a couple? Oh, and I was going to mention, have you been working more on your channel, PBO? As
Not
far as
really.
Organization?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, and I went to it the other day because I was catching up on your content here. And it looks a lot cleaner on your homepage. So it looks like you like reorganized your homepage here.
It's always been like that. I don't think you've been going to my homepage. I think you've been going directly to the playlist part. No, I did that a while ago.
Yeah,
I gotta bump you up.
Doesn't look as bad.
I gotta bump you up on my features, man. I got y'all. They way in the back, man. I gotta get y'all on there, man.
I'm not even on there.
I know. I just thought about it. I haven't touched my homepage in a while. I just thought about that when you brought it up. I was like, I gotta get Study GRC on there.
I don't even know which features I have.
Features? You ain't got me on the featured? Come on.
I have no idea.
Come on. You talking about me? At least I did mine about 3 years ago. I did about 3 years ago.
I don't know. Let's see. I'll do it live. I don't care.
Oh
yeah, you're number 1.
I'm number 1. Oh, okay, shout out to me. I'm on there.
Yeah, see.
B-Dub's number 2. Okay.
Bam.
Got the Space Tacos on there, man. Leave Space Tacos off.
Space Tacos doesn't even have a channel yet.
Oh, she's got a Discord. You're right. My
yeah.
bad. I'm
so
upgrading her.
Yeah, so for you guys unfamiliar, so on YouTube, you can go through and customize your homepage and add like recommended or like featured other channels. And so then you could select other YouTube channels. And so these are the ones we have added on ours in particular.
Shout out to Black Hills and Anti. They got 50,000 users. I need glasses.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff.
Oh my God, they do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, it's hard to keep up with everything between Anti-Siphon and Black Hills. Anti-Siphon did recently modify their pay what you can to pay forward what you can. Most of their stuff is still like they have a whole section there. And so it's either $0 or starts at 25 for their pay forward what you can. Still tons of value. And also like on the Anti-Siphon page, if you go to their playlist, they have these pay forward what you can stuff on their playlist as well. The active defense and cyber deception is by far my favorite one that they have.
Red team.
Do what?
I always call it red team. I don't think that's actually probably blue team. I always call it red
what
team.
I like so much about the active defense and cyber deception is it gives you a different mindset of thinking about it. Not only does he mention like, oh, don't hack back kind of stuff, or you probably shouldn't. but it just gives you a different mindset and a different perspective of looking at it. You know, honeypots and going through and doing, it's not the right word for it, but misinformation, disinformation, and so forth. Just making it's like the pyramid of pain. If you guys are unfamiliar with the pyramid of pain, like that's a huge concept with it, and defense in depth.
I'm anti honeypot, but
Oh, are you? Why? Why would that be?
it'll make sense from my background. We're not very mature. We're gonna entice people to hack something on our network. Then we're gonna believe that we can contain them inside that subnet. I think not. But I understand the reason why. But if I go to court and I say, yeah, we had a honeypot, but we lost control, dude, that's almost negligent to me. But that could be me. That could be me overreacting. So that's why I'm anti. Now I like when OWASP does a honeypot. I love it. They taking metrics. That's what they do. That's their mission. I'm for it. But as a company doing that, I don't know. But that's me being overly cautious. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, like, I think there's definitely a right way and a wrong way to do it. I think so. Like during that active defense and cyber deception course, like he talks about, like you could go through and set up a server with a bunch of false workstations, and so it can give you an early alert. I think in that fact, it's a really good thing. I think it's a bad practice probably to go through and like do a public facing thing, or, you know, actually try to lure people in to a soft target kind of thing on your networks, of course.
But for me, but I don't disagree with you. I just feel most people aren't mature enough and skilled enough to be doing that. That's my only issue.
Yeah, no,
I mean that takes. So for me, now don't get me wrong, I'm for it. I love it
to be mature.
I just think OWASP and those nonprofit things that focus on that should do that, because too, if they got on our network and we lost control of them and we enticed them, dude, that's crazy to me. But that's my only issue. Once again, I'm old and grumpy. That's just to me. If we get hacked and we got to go to court, that sounds crazy. We enticed them and lost control. You negligent, big fine for you. So, but I don't know. That's my two cents. Chime on there, Mr.
I completely get it.
Mr. Sock. What's your thoughts on that, Mr. Sock?
Man, if we could hand out fines, our clients would be working a lot harder. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, I throw that out. Like you said, fines are, well, I take that back. In the federal space, big dogs, they get fined, but you're right. The small,
I know you're about, rolling up on the top of the hour and about to get ready to go, but I was just asking, Chris, I saw the end of the show last night and you were using Notebook LM. I still need to pick your brain about that. I mean, I understand the gist of it. I love it so much. I just haven't had a chance to actually play with it. I say, I do have a chance. I just haven't made it a priority. I'll say it like that, right? But I wanted to know your thoughts. Did you go back and watch that video, though, by chance with AJ, and your thoughts on the GRC engineering? Because I really love where he was going, and I'm just sitting there thinking, give me some Python, let me into your system. That's the only thing I see that's a little bit on the funny side. But if he's talking about an internal auditor, totally different scenario there.
That's what I do. And I think that's the future. I just don't see that skill set displayed a lot. And I'll let you chime in as auditors. And we barely doing findings, man. How the hell are we gonna get to engineering? You can barely get people to patch their damn systems in a timely manner. And now we want to get to engineering. I do think, hopefully, with AI, that'll be the future. AI taking some of that low-hanging fruit off of them. I've seen AJ in a couple other interviews, so I have not checked the entire one out. But I've seen people talk about compliance engineering. I just haven't seen it done in practice a lot.
Yeah. I think he's joining something that my company's kind of sponsoring some of it too, or something. Anyways, regardless, I thought it was funny timing. I was like, is my phone listening to me? Like, how is AJ on here with Jerry and then our company's like, but anyways, just coincidence. But I really like the thought of it, and I'm saying it could work definitely. And I do believe that a lot of the people on here that we talk to and that are trying to get into the business. That's where that Net Plus, even if you don't go take it, right, it's just good study material. The Sec Plus, things like that, right? It's just good to have these ideas just as an understanding. for GRC is what I'm saying. But if you wanted to dive deeper, as I would love to do what PBO's doing, you know, diving into the AWS, and I want to get maybe not certified per se, but if I can just get more knowledge on it so that I don't have to come up and say, oh man, I didn't know that was default, you know, that security group was denied by default. I'm looking for the specifics, but then I learned about it, you know. But anyways, I just want to, I want to be able to talk through it better than just saying, well, the control says you got to implement this specific blah, blah, blah.
Well, real quick, and like you said, that's the next step, because if you can't do the control, what's your compensating or mitigating control? That's when your knowledge of Azure and AWS starts helping, because what is something compensating or at the same level of control for that particular control? Go ahead, Chris, my bad.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so like, I think one of the biggest concerns is having the separation of duties, because you don't want the auditors also implementing and so forth, which kind of seems like a slight issue with that. And like some of the different stuff that I've seen out there, these organizations are like, oh, you mean I could hire one person to do everything like we've already done in the past for the last 2 years or 2 decades? Like, awesome. I really see like the whole GRC engineering thing being more of a marketing term than anything else. Of course, knowledge is power. Like, especially if your company is AWS or is Azure, like you should be going through and getting trained up on it more and so forth. Like, that's really where it comes into. But, yeah, like I don't know. Like,
real quick, I got to jump to a meeting, but I just thought about this. So I think he might have brought it up just a little bit, but you know, I'm external. So internal is one thing, but they shouldn't be able to implement crap, but they should be able to check these things so they could have, you know, the minimum RBAC, the, you know, the role-based access, right? Depending on what it is. But what I was going to say is, when they sign an agreement with us, they sign that they're going to give us factual, complete, accurate evidence, right?
Right.
So if this became part of the loop, maybe they could do like they do for our pen testers to a point, you know, just have that conditional access, et cetera, et cetera. We're only in there for 4 hours between 4 p.m. and, you know, 8 p.m., blah, 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 blah. We get these things. Somebody's monitoring us. Hell, we could be on a Teams call or something like that if we're not physically there. And they witness it with us. We get our information. They also can keep that information for themselves, and then boom, we're done. So just your thoughts. I'll listen at the end. Hey, thank you all. And I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, and take care.
Cool. Yeah,
you have a good one.
But the thing, I think, and you're right, but in a smaller company, you do both. But what happens is you don't have the budget to do separation of duties. But when your external auditor is going to tear you apart. So you're going to pay now, you're going to pay later.
Well, and like a huge thing around GRC engineering is continuous monitoring. Mm-hmm. That's something that's already been a thing. And that's where like I really see it just as a new marketing term. Like I've seen another one called GovTech, for an example.
Well, I think I slightly disagree. I the reason I slightly disagree is I think they expect GRC engineering to have a different skill set to help you do continuous monitoring. Because in the old days, if we do continuous monitoring, the tech guys will put monitoring in there, then they would give us a view into it. But I think they want the GRC people to have those skills to actually implement continuous monitoring.
Yeah, and so like that's where like it gets a little bit interesting in my opinion. So like one of the things I really like is like the new Sec Plus 701, they added a bunch more GRC into it. They have a whole category now for it where you have to go through and understand a lot more of the terminology, risk assessments, all of this. That stuff, a lot of that was not in the 601 that I took, which also makes me think like, okay, this is great because a lot more of these, you know, network engineers, system admins, whatever, people who are on the security technical side taking the Sec Plus are going to better understand and be able to work with the GRC aspect. More of that.
I just don't see that, but go ahead. But go ahead.
And that's where the GRC engineering part comes in, because what they're doing is they're trying to create like a cross role there where you have the technical capabilities and the GRC capability. And that's where like, I don't know, like I think it is a really good thing, but
only big companies that do it.
Yeah,
they have the budget. Yeah,
which I think is where a lot of it comes in for many things. Is it's just like you said, is like a small company that's not enterprise. They're going to have one team that does it all. Like I've talked to people who work for enterprises that literally they have a team of 5 people that handles everything.
I was on one of the biggest GRC teams at the state of Indiana, and we had 5 people, and we had
Yeah.
1,700 employees.
Yeah.
And we by far none big. So you just don't see big GRC teams unless they have a federal requirement.
Yeah.
HSS, HIPAA Trust, IRS, that I just don't see people doing it just to do it. You just don't see that.
Yeah, and like the whole automations aspect also has overhead to it as well. But there's already other tools that are out there that allow you to do that. Like even AWS has tooling
Oh yeah.
for such. Like I think the automations is a huge important factor. But if you already have an IT team, like I don't understand why you would have to, have somebody who is fluent on both sides of the fence per se.
I think especially for bigger companies, they don't communicate well. Like I used to talk to development teams. Nobody talked to development teams about requirements. So then they arguing like, well, we got to do this, right? So what is that communication to say? This particular task, or like Dave said, this control rolls up to GRC that rolls up to the IRS. So you really don't get that, I guess, that tie. Then that tie, when the auditors come in, Dave destroys you because you don't have your auditing, you don't know where it's at, you don't have the time. And half the time, they don't even know the requirements for the particular federal agency they're doing. So,
no, 100%.
So
yeah, and we should have like a whole stream about it too. Like it's a pretty big topic nowadays.
It is. Like I said, the people in that realm, they already doing it. I think they're struggling, and I think that's what they was bring about it. But internal versus external. Usually, you have internal auditors really to help you with your external audits, because you want to make sure you know what you're doing. You don't have too many findings. You have communication. You have the whole process done. So that's usually what I used to do a lot of times with internal audits.
Yeah, and I know you're just now hopping in here, Rania, again. But,
is that Rania?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it to an end here. We're already like 10 minutes over.
That's okay.
Did you have anything else in particular to add?
No, I was just gonna say PBO's on the nail on the head right there.
I appreciate you.
On which aspect?
Everything.
On everything.
PBO's always wrong.
Everything. Nah, I'm just cool. Or square.
No, internal audit. Like we're going through SOC 2, my company, and my poor coworkers handling all of that because I'm on a different project where we're updating a lot of our systems in the middle of this audit. It's a nightmare.
Oh yeah,
they definitely don't talk to each other. Development is on one track, business is on another track. It can be difficult.
Very difficult. I'm just old enough to figure out how to jump that chasm, but because especially developers, they're like, we've been doing it like this forever. I'm like, yeah, the IRS ain't gonna take that on me. That's what we need. So let's talk about it. Then 2 is, like Dave said, is can you have a conversation if they can't implement something? Right. So I think that's where you start adding value. And just and Ryan, this for SOC 2, the paperwork for that is crazy. Paperwork for that is crazy. Well,
and it does suck because you have to have great communication skills when it comes to doing these audits. Like we're a global company, and within my software system that I support, there's so much miscommunication just because the auditors are taking what the other person is saying as X, but the other person is really saying Y.
Mm-hmm.
But the communication barrier for English as a second language and English as a first language has been challenging. It's just they use certain words and the auditors see this because they're native English speakers, whereas, and I'm not saying our people are just from India, but we do have a lot of people from India, Poland, across the UK and, Asia. Like we have people everywhere. So there's a lot of misunderstandings when it comes to, is the system working right? Well, yes, it's working right. The person talking to the auditor just doesn't know how it works. So I don't know why they're the ones talking to the auditor. So it's definitely an interesting dynamic when you get into such a large company doing these GRC audits.
Yeah, I was doing a global company, and like you said, it was crazy, but that communication a lot of times. I hate spreadsheets, but you can get them up on a screen and everybody can walk to them and everybody can make sure everybody's level set. Can we level set everybody so we understand what the mission is? We gotta use those corporate words so we can all be on the same mission. but
For sure. Corporate needs
yeah,
is important.
yeah. So I think what Chris said, I think we probably need to talk about that in a whole separate vein.
Yeah,
We
that's a
gotta
whole 4-hour
run it to
discussion on
ground.
its own.
That's one new thing people say, young guys say, we need to run the problem to the ground. We need to run it to ground. All right, let's run it to ground. but and I think Space Taco said that's one part of auditing that people don't talk about. Communication and trying to figure out what the control is or make sure everybody understands the control. We're not talking about the compensator or mitigating. Let's understand what the basic control we're trying to implement is.
Right.
Checks out. Yeah, and yeah, we'll definitely have to set something up for that. Did you guys have any final last remarks here?
I need to speak with you backstage, but no, everybody have a happy Friday. Let's get it.
Wish me luck.
I am tired. Old people tired. But
This
let's
week
get
was
it.
long.
It was. I'm just having a rough week. I need 2026 to get here. But no, let's keep grinding.
Here.
Out there studying. There's a lot of things out there to learn. I've been on my AWS grind looking at S3 buckets this week for data engineering. So I'll probably do a video about that. So.
Bam. What about you, Rania?
Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Take things one goal at a time, even if they're small. That's how I get through my week.
Did you say something about presenting here soon or something?
No, fast.
Fred, what? You talking to PBO?
No, I'm ready to go. If R Square is presenting,
gosh.
I am showing up. I am there.
No,
We'll
I
see.
definitely was trying to get conned into presenting something.
Be good
Someone
for you.
provide
Con
me a
sounds
topic.
like a strong word.
I'll think about it.
You
Convinced?
said it. Get your SOC 2 type 2 on.
Peer
I don't-
pressured?
I'm not in it enough to be able to talk to SOC 2 with any level of confidence.
We just doing an overview. We ain't getting in deep. Just overviewing it.
You have a lot to contribute. But yeah, thank you guys for hopping up here. And then also thanks to everybody for tuning in. Space Tacos, Jeffrey popped in earlier. We had, Cam and David and Steph popped in and more. So GRC Mafia. I dropped PBO's link, but then also don't forget about the GRC Audit Treasure Trove. And then also we have the Coffee Mafia as well. That's a huge, valuable resource there as well. And then catch us in Discord outside of our live stream. So there's all of us are in the Discord server. Ask your questions, share your resources. What are you guys finding and so forth? Community built, community driven. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. Catch you guys next week. GRC Mafia.
Do you love cybersecurity and GRC? Do you like analogies stretched further than my hairline? Then do I have a channel for you. Hi, my name is Cameron, also known as Cam, and I want to invite you to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Cam Goddess, where I dive into various topics, frameworks, terms, and foundational knowledge within the broad categories of cybersecurity and GRC. I'm passionate about these things and about taking complex concepts and making them more easily understandable, more easily defined. Everyone is a nerd about something, so come, nerd, learn, and grow.